Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We're going to go through the live forward-looking analysis of the order flow within Bookmap. We're going to go through the live forward-looking analysis, and this is what we do every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, is to go through the live order flow. We will take also some positions or look for opportunities. It is all in simulation mode. It is not a trading room nor recommendation. This is an order flow room, and understanding how to integrate order flow within your trading and use it as a very, very sharp tool. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. The risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in and take a look here at Bookmap, and we'll take a look at the bigger picture first. I took one small trade here, but we'll look for other opportunities in here. All right, so let me get situated in here. Stops and icebergs. There we go. Okay. All right. Any questions right off the bat before we get involved in our bigger picture here? We can also take a look very quickly at the good morning, Alois, and good morning, others. Hold on a minute here. Let me check over in the All Markets room. Good morning, Rob and Rob Davis. Okay. All right. Well, you guys can see the volatility here. This is just classic stuff that we see in order flow. We put a horizontal line right in here, right at the cash open, in fact, and then right here you can see this range in here, right, from the pre-market range, and this is what's happened. Broke out, high liquidity up in these areas up in here. It didn't make it into this liquidity, came right back down, right through it, all the way to the other side, equal amount. So if we even measure that, we can take a look at that, and we can see it is just about exactly the same. And now it's fighting to get through back through this horizontal line. So this 51.45 is a key level for the moment, okay, for today at this time. And it looks like it wants to go through it here as well. We see a move here. And then another move in here. We see the order book skew. We could probably even scalp it a few ticks up into here, but I'm going to hold off on that. But I'd be looking for that. All right, maybe we can trade up to this 51.50 big figure up here as well. And that would be a little flag pattern that we're looking for in here. All right, so the reason I'm holding off on that is I'm not quite prepared for it. And we haven't looked at the bigger picture. I'm not going to go jumping into things immediately here, but that is the order flow move we are looking for in the short term at the moment. All right, so let's take a step back, take a breather, and then let's look at this here. What's going on in the big picture, and also our we have our a daily trading plan here, okay, day trading preparation plan. This top-down approach. Like I said, this is very, very kind of raw right now. I'll make it into something better for you guys, and then we'll put it here in the All Markets room so that you can come in here and you can get this. Just looking at the fundamentals, the big picture, what's going on the economic calendar and geopolitical events. And then the technicals, the big picture, the daily, maybe the weekly candle analysis, and then swings over the last week or so, important swings also for the day, previous day highs, lows, the extended trading hours, highs and lows, gaps, POC, VWAP, inside day, outside day. So these would be the technicals. And then our outlook for the day. We're going to develop scenarios. What do we think can unfold and why. Where might price go based on this bigger picture outlook, based off of this top-down approach. Fundamentals, technicals, and then outlook via the scenarios. And then we're going to consider our strategies and setups. And then this is what the trading takes place, the order flow in Bookmap. We're going to look at our criteria in the strategy. Does it make sense? Is the strategy or the setup aligned? If it is, then we have an opportunity. And then we're going to cover criteria and our trade management. Trade management and criteria. And this is a really important part. In fact, we all last week had the Pro Trader webinar series on trade management. Some really great stuff in there. If you want to go and check that out, it is on our YouTube channel, and you'll see a lot of the Pro Trader webinars. In fact, Dan, since I know you're in here, I meant to do this is to put this playlist together. We have the Pro Trader webinars here, but we should have the most recent one, and just have those for access would be great. So we'll put that together. Anyway, guys, let's see what's happening here. Up to 47, haven't gotten back up to 50 yet, but still looks like it can play out here. All right, bigger pictures. What's happening fundamentally? What's the week look like? What's going on? If we take a look here for news coming out, we have PMI manufacturing data coming out on Wednesday. We have consumer confidence also on Tuesday. Thursday, nothing really. Unemployment claims, but that should not be that impactful news. But then we have the big event on Friday, the non-farm payroll. That is the second most complex fundamental event that we have, and we're going to see in the technicals here what traders they're going to be speculating on that. We'll look for this in the technicals. We also, we have some data beforehand that's going to be impactful, but Friday is really the big day, right? We have the earnings, hourly earnings report, unemployment rate, as well as the non-farm employment change number. Okay, so these are the most important, and it's a complex event, right? So all of those depend on what traders think of them and how they're going to react to them. All right, so that's our fundamental week looking forward. Let's go over the bigger picture technically. Okay, just looking at a very simple candlestick chart here, just to get some levels. Okay, here's our daily over here on the left-hand side. And in fact, let's show a few more bars in here just to begin with. On the daily, you can see how we came down into this critical level here and tested it. Actually didn't go below it. And then we see the reaction here all week long, right? So back up into this level. Guys, you'll see these same patterns again and again. This is just how order flow works. I'll show it to you in today's chart on a low time frame, testing up into this level here where we saw the sellers take control of that market and move it to the downside. Okay, so this is a pretty critical area here that we're up against right now. Now, what we want to see is, are we going to continue on? We can see right here, we have an outside day. Okay, it is testing outside of that area now. Is it going to accept or reject? That's the question. Okay, so let's look at the hourly. Let's get more detail here. Here's our gap. Okay, we see two gaps in here. This is Friday's gap, and we filled it. Well, it came pretty close to filling it. We've definitely filled it now, and it gapped up, and now we have a gap from today or this week, and then a move up here. All right, so on the hourly, that's what we're looking at here. Then if we look at the 15-minute chart over here, here's our our gap for the cash session here, as you guys can see, for today, and we have not filled it, and we're still looking for buying pressure to come in here. So now, to me, it looks like on all three, we have buying pressure here, buying pressure here on all three. Okay, so we're looking for continuation. Now, what we saw that on this hourly or this 15-minute chart, let's just zoom in a little bit more on this a 15-minute chart. Okay, so we can just see a little more detail. All right, so we tested up here, rejected, came all the way back down. This did not hold though, and we're coming back up to retest. So we're looking for volume in here. We're looking for the order flow, and we're looking for that 5150 area that we were just talking about. We're just about to trade into it. Okay, so when we started the event, that's what we were looking for, and we decided to stay away from it in terms of a trade opportunity in here because we wanted to first look at our bigger picture. Okay, and now we're trading into it. All right, but as you guys can see, that's a lost opportunity, but basically that's what we're looking for, and that is what has unfolded. Okay, so now we're up at this kind of critical level. We just traded into this liquidity here. This is I'm looking for a bit of a pullback actually at the moment. Okay, so let's put some understanding into the price structure here. Okay, trying to understand a value area by outlining highs and lows in here. It's as simple as that, right? That's all we're doing in here. I don't want to talk about like how we can look at horizontal levels, we can look at volume profile, we can look at patterns, but we're looking at, it's all really the same thing. It's just this is on a diagonal here. This is where we see price channeling. So up here, it is considered, at least by these highs that we've strung together, that this is a little too overvalued. Okay, down here in this channel, this would be undervalued. Okay, so that's just the idea in here. Now, if you look at your profile, it is the same idea, except you're just looking at it aggregated horizontally. You don't see this diagonal. Instead, you see some back and forth in here, and then boom, breakout, retest back to the top of this level here, and it continued on up. And that's why you get this low volume node in here. Okay, so anyway, yeah, we're looking to see what happens up in here. So now let's look at some of the order flow. Okay, so you're seeing buyers come up in here, and there they go. They're trading into it. So so some traders want to trade into it and retest back up in here, and look at the order book in here. Okay, and then you can see responsive sellers coming in immediately. Now they're going to trade right into this 5150 here. Okay, so are they going to trade into it, through it? Is this is support here at a higher level, or it's demand? Let's see if it holds. Okay, I'm actually looking for sellers to trade into it now, and then try to trade down into this level in here. Okay, probably this little swing that coincides with our price channel. Okay, so let's look for some sellers in here to reach back down to the lower level here. Okay, now you see how we can understand this price channel in here. There we go, there's our move. All right, so now we're going to swing, and we're going to look back at when we might get buyers to come back in. Where is this outside of value, and we'll find responsive buyers traded back into a level. Okay, well, down here 48. Okay, maybe down here 47.25. Okay, this is going through and understanding the relationship between supply, demand, and value. Any questions on this? Good morning, Caesar. Oh, thanks, Dan. Yeah, you got the Pro Trader webinar series up here. Yep, excellent. Yeah, Wednesday's huge, Aloise. Absolutely. Yeah, ADP as well. That's right. Which is kind of a weird one, but sometimes you're like, oh, look at ADP, like, and then it's FOMC is totally different, but anyway, and then lots of different ways of looking at the fundamental stuff. That's for sure. That's not the aim here, but we're just looking at a bigger picture here. Yep, thanks, Shadow, for your FOMC this week. Yep. Okay, let me see. Any other questions? No. Okay, we're good. All right. So, what are we seeing in here so far? In any sort of opportunity in here presenting itself? Not really. I mean, you guys can see, like, we didn't trade it. Maybe I should have, but we were looking for price to move up into this area, also the top area of this value or this channel, and then a move away from that channel, and then to see what happens. Okay, so now what's happening? Well, it broke this channel. It went down into here. Okay, so we're seeing maybe a shift. Okay? And if that is the case, where might price go next? Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the as high as buyers can take it. Okay? We need to see in here. We need to let these traders tell us how they feel about this price at 51.50 and a half. Here's high liquidity in here. Now we're going to learn. I bet we find some traders traded up to this 51.50 here. Okay, and that would be the swing high for this cash session here. Okay, so here we go. Right now, do I think that's high probability? No, I don't. We're just looking for this, and we're going to look for what happens up in here. Okay, so we have demand here at 49.5, and let's see if we get a lot of sellers down here. Okay, if we can get a lot of sellers trade into this and through it, I would look for a move right down into this 48. Okay, now we're going over pretty low time frame stuff in here, but I want to encourage you guys not to look at this here for big opportunities or anything like that, but to practice, and to practice through trading in sim, okay, in demo mode, and it'll give you a feel for what's going on in here. Okay, and that kind of experience will extrapolate into bigger picture, and it will encourage you in your trading plan. Right, you'll start to understand the relationship in here, and the more that you can do that, now you can start to build out your trading plan. There's a lot of guys doing this over in the Bookmap Academy room, and it's just by kind of these webinars, also different strategies, but then you trade it, you start to back test it, you start to look at it, and you get a feel for it. Okay, so let me show you, for example, if you go to bookmap.com here and go to education here. Okay, so the strategies and setups, and I said, as I continue to say, we're building this out, and there'll be more. We have a continuation and a reversal pattern in here right now. The continuation is a simple flag pattern, and the head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulders pattern here for the reversal pattern. But don't worry about the pattern, worry about these three elements: price structure, volume, and liquidity. It is this that is the most important, and that insight, no matter what kind of pattern it is, it will give us that kind of understanding to be able to look for opportunities, higher probability opportunities. Okay, so right now we're kind of waiting and watching, right? Now you can see like now sellers are coming in. Okay, now we saw this break here, and you can also look at this selling in here. Okay, you can also look at this buying in here, and now this selling in here. Now this is like a distribution pattern in here. It's back and forth. Whereas on the way up, look at this. This is a price discovery pattern, a continuation pattern. And who's dominating in here? There's no question. It's buyers, right? Now we're seeing something else change in here, right? So now we want to gain insight to this. And we saw this change happen in real time. We thought it maybe come up to the 51.5 again, or 3/4. Well, it went a little higher, 51.50. And then if we can get through this liquidity here, we said 48. Was it 47 or 48? I thought I said 48. But you can see liquidity here and liquidity here. We've tested it and we've come back now. So this upward move and upward channel here has turned into a sideways market. Okay, and potentially maybe reversal. Okay, do we see a reversal yet? Not really. Okay, we made a slightly higher high here, and we definitely made a lower low here. Right, so we're just still understanding what's going on in here. All right, so and now we're going to look for some opportunities. Okay, so now sellers came in and traded into this 49.5 and through it, pretty strong selling. What about down here? How strong does that look? Not very strong. It's a huge stop run here, as you guys can see, from 600 down to well, 400. It's 200, about 200. It's not really that big in the bigger picture, but you can see it's a big stop run for today. Okay, of what you can see in here. All right, so here's a stop run to the upside. Here's a stop run to the downside. This red line in here. All right, now if that is the case, and this is just a stop run, are we looking for more buyers to come back in? And then is this kind of like, in essence, it's not new sellers, these are old buyers becoming sellers. Okay, or are there new sellers in here? Okay, are we going to find new buyers over in here? Answering some of these questions by understanding the stops is very, very helpful. Okay, because we want to see if we're going to get new buyers back up in these areas. If we do, the likelihood is to come back up into this 51.5. We see new sellers come in, well, then the likelihood is we're going to trade back down into this level here. Okay, now we're finding some new sellers in here. Okay. Okay, now let's take a look here for a low volume pullback. Is this a low volume pullback in here? It is on the buy side. Okay, now there's some liquidity. Okay, all right, so let's see if we can maybe set a I'm going to set a sell stop in here in Bookmap. Now to do that, you just hold down the shift key and then you right click in here. Now I'm going to move it up a little bit too, okay, because I wanted to trade into and through this level here. Okay, we have high liquidity, some selling in here. Well, there we go. See how we stayed away from that? Because we don't know if the buyers are going to come in like this, and if they are, well, it's actually a move back to 51.50 here. Okay, so I'm going to cancel this. Now there's a few different ways to do that. You can hit cancel here. You can hit flatten. You can also left click on this and click cancel here, or you can even use your center mouse wheel as a button and then click here, and you will cancel that order. So a bunch of different ways to do it. All right. If you guys, anyone that's been kind of playing around with the trading journal, I want to show you this that we've built out, and it's also a new market pulse tool I want to show you guys. So this is the trading journal in here. It is web-based, but if you guys are interested in this, you will need to actually, let's keep an eye on this in here. Still seeing more buyers up in here. See if they fail though. No, it's still, I don't see any setup in here right now. We might get a big stop run through this area, right back down into the low here at 46 or so, or the swing here. Okay, but yeah, nothing worth taking a shot at in terms of risk. And staying away from that is something that allows you to filter out some of the bad trades and just go for the good ones. So I just want to show the dates up in here and now the time here. You can input and then go back and take a look here. So here's end of March into April and April 30th today. Okay, well tomorrow, but it's focusing on trades from that time, and we can see like how did we do. And we have the kind of bigger picture outlook here, and we can filter though here. All right, so if you want to look at just your performance like last week, okay, so we'll go through Monday here, or maybe Sunday, huh? Okay, and let's see what was our performance like. All right, and here we go. So here's the equity curve. Now, nice trade there. That helped. Big winner. And then, some small winners and small losers in here. But overall, we continue to see equity curve to the upside here. And we can now look at and justify some of these trading strategies in here. That we're looking at and starting to understand of like how well we're doing by looking at this journal. We've got all the trade data, each trade in here, and you got the MFE, MAE as well, to see how much it went against you, how much it went for you, etc. So some really good stuff in here. Again, this is our first kind of minimum viable product in here, but this is giving us some really nice insight to how we're doing in the bigger picture. And this is for the week now, okay, last week, and how we did. All right, so we'll see. Today I don't have much. We just have one trade, so it's not really much to go over for today. Just a 1.25. Point and a quarter or 5 ticks, right? So, and we're kind of looking back and forth in here, you can see it is pretty back and forth. Really not seeing much. Yeah, it looks like it wants to come back up a little higher here, 55. Let's look at our bigger picture here. So that would be high. That would go back up to the highs of the day here, if we can do that. We want to be really careful up in here. This is a pretty important swing. And let's see if it fails up here. And we can get, you can see our channel in here now, right? Okay, on a smaller time frame. Eduardo, welcome. New subscriber. Just wondering if you can use footprint. Yeah, sure. We can show footprint in here. No problem. Yeah, you might have heard it over on YouTube, but I'm using this new market pulse tool called Pace of Tape, POT. When we're going to hear buyers or sellers come in, this is a really interesting tool, especially for Well, for all types of markets, but I found it really helpful, especially in a sideways moving market. And here's why. If we take off the stops and icebergs for a moment and look at the pace of tape and the extremes in here. When the sellers hit an extreme, you can see here, it reversed. When sellers hit an extreme here, you can see it reversed. Okay, so we're looking, and when buyers in here, we hit, lots of buying. Well, it pulled back, but there's still more buying in here. Okay, so maybe buyers taking control. Maybe we can move up into this 55 area here and go to highs of the day here. Okay. All right. So anyway, I wanted to go over that pretty interesting tool or new algo in the market pulse tool. All right, and let's show the footprint chart. Okay. Footprint. There it is. There we go. There's our sellers. Now see how like we're kind of staying away from some of the these areas in here. We're trending up, not too convinced by these buyers, and we're thinking, yeah, if maybe we'll get into this 55 area up in here, and maybe we will again here, but you can see we just pulled back hard. Okay, we just found a lot of sellers. And now we're down to kind of well, not only 51.50, but kind of the middle of this range in here. Okay, now we've broken our price channel. Okay, sellers, let's see you bring it down to 48. Okay. Again, these are scalping opportunities. Again, only in sim right now. This is not a trading room, but very profitable morning, Rajveer, good to hear. But there's little opportunities like this all day long. Now, like I had encouraged you guys, like this is something that playing around with on the smaller time frame will sharpen your skills for higher time frame, or if you want to even just stay with scalping. The opportunities are in there by reading the order flow and then looking for those moves. Okay, so anyway, let's take a look at the footprint chart in here. And now there's something I want to do in here, Eduardo, that I think you'll appreciate. So right now I'm looking at the ES here, and what I'm going to do is go to configure add-ons in here, and I'm going to open up the add-on called instrument copy. Right here. Okay. All right, understood. It won't show stops and icebergs. That's fine. So all right, now here you can already see it's already made one for me here, but I want to show it. I want to demo it as well. So we're here. Now you can either through instrument copy create a new one here, or you can just simply, now that it's open and check marked, I can just click here and then open up a new instrument. So Bookmap, type futures, CME, and then I'm going to open up, I don't see it in here, so I'll have to type it in. Problem, ESM4, select that, and we'll look at, an hour of backfill data. Okay, so now you can see that I opened up this instrument copy here. Okay. All right, and it's showing some different add-ons in here, but we'll take off the sweeps and absorption, also stops and icebergs. We'll just look at our footprint here. Yeah. Okay, so Eduardo, the reason I'm doing this in here is so you maybe you're really reliant on footprint. Well, this might be a view that you really appreciate in here. You've been using footprint for forever, let's say. And we can also look at the last price in here. And then we're actually going to, let's make the color for that last price gray. So it doesn't burn into our eyeballs here. All right. So now we can have our last price, and you can see that we have our footprint chart here. And we have delta, well, overall delta here, based on each time frame here. We have the sum of bid, sum of ask, and the sum of all trades in here. So we have 4 different outputs here, kind of in the subchart for our footprint. And then in this view in here, this is really nice, because what we can see for our footprint chart is that we just are looking at footprint, last price, but we have the heat map. So let's suppose you've been using footprint for years. It's probably something like this, right? So that's great, but you don't have liquidity. Now you have your footprint chart with liquidity, and let's actually make the last price a little bit darker. That ought to help. There we go. Okay, so this should be really helpful. This should be insightful for you. Start to understand, okay, well, look at the trading up here. All right, well, what about the buyers up in here? High volume node in here. This is delta we're looking at. Okay, and then we see the drop in here, but look at the delta now as well. Okay, so in fact, look at the delta down here. We continue to go higher. Here's some selling. That this is going to be a very nice trap. And then you can see the some of the buying starting to come in, positive delta, really positive delta, more positive delta. Okay, little negative, more positive, especially at the top here, and more positive trap, potential trap. Okay, we've pulled away now. Now we're going to be watching this really closely, and watch. This is where it's going to be helpful. Look at the liquidity. Okay, they pulled away. Okay, they pulled away from this area here. Okay, and now we're trading down here. What's the liquidity look like? Okay, are they on the offer? Yeah, they are. What about the bid? How's the bid look? Okay, well, it's a little bit less, and you can see them down here at this 5140 level. Okay, so let's take a look at this now. Let's look at footprint to give us some insight. Okay, so I'm looking for some sellers in here, especially right here. And now if that is the case, okay, and let's pop this out actually. Okay, you can pop this out by double clicking on it. You can right click on it, open it in a new window, etc. Okay, now we're going to go back here to our S&P. I'm going to take footprint off here. So we can look at just the volume, because we're already missing it here. Okay, so now what we're looking for is sellers to try to drop it down to R. Where is R? Here. Okay. We already kind of missed it. That's too bad. Yeah, we're just looking for them to drop it down. Well, we can still get down to 40 here, right? Okay, so pull back, and let's see if we see some rejection up here. Okay, so the trade idea then is let's look for some sellers. We see high liquidity here on the offer, okay, and then we look for some sellers to try to drive it down to 40. Okay, so there's some exhaustion there. There's some selling. All right, so we're gonna take a shot at it here. Now this is gonna be like a third of a position. Okay, now I'm just going to right click in here, and I'm going to hold down shift. There's my my sell stop. Okay, so I'm going to wait, and I will enter down here if I see more sellers come in. and take me into that trade. So I'm looking for exhaustion up here by buyers. Here's some sellers, okay? And let's see if these sellers can take us in. No, okay, but we're looking for it, we're prepared for it, and we kind of dodged it here. We dodged a bullet here, right? Okay, we filtering out these trades in here. Let's take a look back at our footprint chart. How's it looking? Here, I'll show you the settings in here for footprint. Okay, we'll go to the footprint settings in here. I'm looking at a time interval, and there's some scaling on here, horizontal scaling here. So that time interval is you can see how it unfolds as I zoom in. So here come our sellers in here, right? Now we need to see a little more delta down here. So let's jump back, and we still have our stop in here. And this makes me a little leery now. I don't like being a seller at the bottom of the range here. Okay, so might have to adjust this. Let's try it. So this is not, there we go. So we're in, okay, and now we're looking for, and we're gonna have to be either aggressive, or this was a third of a position, right? If that's a third of a position, we can still get in this whole range in here. Okay, because we got in way down here, okay, which is pretty bad entry. But now we're looking for follow through on that sell side to hit back down into our 40 level. Okay, and well, we're just in front of it here at 41. Okay, so that's our trade idea, right? And again, this is only a feeler position in here. Okay, we can add to this if we want, okay, or we just take a small stop if we want. Okay, I'm going to move my stop up just a couple ticks in here. I don't want to be right at the top of this little range in here. Okay, and I want to be behind. See how I want to be behind that liquidity in here. Now, we could trade management wise, if we see more sellers coming in here and we see exhaustion on that buy side in here, we can look to enter more in here and average our cost and look for a better position. Okay, our break even is actually here above. This is our, because of the previous trade that we took. Okay. Yeah, not really seeing much. Not really seeing much. Okay, now we're seeing a bit more selling. So we had sellers down here previously. Here's our buyers. Now we're seeing more sellers here, right? So we should see a drop back down to here. So we can even scalp that, get in more, and then I'm going to move, take profit just in front of that 44 level here. Okay. So this is a small scalp just down to here because I see more sellers coming in. It's a different position. Okay, and now you can see I can actually move my stops down now. All right, so there we go. Okay, we got filled here, and we do see more sellers come in. Okay, so we're looking for them to come back down to our 40 level here. Now we can move our take profit down here. We can also move our stops however we see fit. Okay, because look at the buyers come right back now. Now your overall break even on this, let me show you that break even tool. Okay, let's go back here to the break even tool, and then we're going to look at the reset on the zero position, because right now it's not set on zero position. It's set on the overall my P&L for the day. Okay, here it is now for the taking into account that previous trade of $62. Right, so I can move my stop here, and it's basically at a break-even area here on this trade only because I took a small scalp here, right? So this gives me a little bit of room in here, little wiggle room to deal with this. Okay, this is a consideration for management. All right, any questions on this? We had a whole webinar based on our trade management last week, Pro Trader webinar series. Some of the guys got into some of the details in here about like this, but or they looked at kind of bigger picture stuff. Options Millionaire was looking at all sorts of things in there. Very interesting ways to manage the trade with options. Okay, you have a lot more flexibility. J Trader went through risk rewards in detail. And Robert Rother went through, he used the multi brackets product, was scaling into these trades. So some really good stuff there if you guys want to go review some of those webinars. Okay, so now let's see here what's going on. Right, so well, this is where the sellers came in. We've already retested in here and didn't get enough buyers. We found sellers come back down. Now, how many sellers did we find down here? Not a whole lot, right? So we really need to see these sellers come in, and they're starting to. So maybe we're ready for another leg down, okay? And we're gonna kind of look at the amount that's selling, and we're gonna look at the liquidity levels in here, okay, on the bid and on the offer, okay? Because when it comes down to it, this is what matters. It is the auction, and we're reading the auction in the order flow. Right? So still finding a few more sellers in here. Let's take a look at our footprint chart. How's that doing? Okay, well, actually not too good. We're seeing a lot of buyers come right back in now. Okay, so maybe let's see if we reject up here. If we come back up here and see more buyers, well, I'm out. Okay, so we're going to watch this really closely, and we're just going to flatten the position. Okay, because that's a lot of buying right there. Look at that spike. Look at that dot. Okay, are they going to take control of this market and move it back up? Well, then I'm just going to level my position. Okay, and we're going to get our answer right here. Okay, are the buyers coming in? Or do we see them being trapped by sellers? We see exhaustion by the buyers. Okay, we're seeing buyers. All right, I'm out. All right, and that's it. Now, that's maybe a little too aggressive of trade management in here. I could have left it up here, but I'm starting to see some buyers in here. So I'm just going to, look for the next opportunity. This is not behaving in here the way I'm looking for it to behave. Now, we don't know, right? We might all of a sudden get tons of sellers right in here. Well, we can look for taking another position at that time. Okay? And I'm just missing that. So did I get shaken out? Maybe. But I'm protecting myself in here. And I don't really know. It's not behaving the way that I'm looking for. Therefore, I'm going to just flatten and look for something that is more high probable opportunity. Okay. Due to these three things here in the order flow: volume, limit orders or liquidity, and price structure. Okay. Top of this price structure and buyers twice, here and here. It's not what I'm looking for. Okay, now we see the move away here, but we can come right back up here, and if we get more buyers in here, we're probably going to go higher. All right, so I've been job owning here. Any questions? No. Okay. All right, well, let's take a quick look at our trade journal. You see it's already updated here. So I have total wins 162 and a half, which matches my P&L over here, total P&L. Volume is 6. Okay, so traded 1 earlier and then 2 contracts, so total of 6. We had 1 winner for 100. That was our biggest, and we haven't had a loss. All right, so we've taken 2 trades in total. The other one kind of scaled into it, right? We already had a position open, so it's only 2 trades. And we can look at it here, the P&L here. It's really, the P&L doesn't, I mean, it doesn't matter as much as some of these other elements, in my opinion. The MFE and the MAE. This is our performance we really want to look at in here. Okay, so what do we see in here? So our first one, it went against us 1, it went for us 6. That was a quick scalp. Our second one, it went against us 7, but it went for us 13. Okay, not bad. 2-to-1 ratio in here, basically. We're pretty close to it. All right, so how are we performing so far? Well, we're doing all right. We're just trying to be objective about it, right, by using some of these tools in here. Let's take a look back at our footprint chart since we've been covering that. What do we see? Okay, so we can zoom out in our footprint chart and we can look at the different profiles in here. I'll show you how this works. I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's unique that you won't find in other footprint products. It is all based off of this little button right here, horizontal auto scaling. Now, if I deselect that, note that my footprint interval now is based on time. It says footprint bar type. You can choose a reversal, like a conditional pattern, a range of bars, or a certain amount of volume trades, and then a new bar. Okay, we have it on time interval, and right now it's on 5 minutes. Okay, so if I zoom in and out, it doesn't matter. It's always going to be 5 minutes in here, and you're probably used to that as a footprint trader. Okay, but this is pretty unique here. If we check that box, it is based on my scaling. So if I zoom out, now I'm looking at between here, which is 37, to here, which is 50, right? So or here 30 to so it's 10 minutes. This is a 10-minute bar now. Okay, now if I zoom in, now it's a 5-minute bar. If I zoom in more, you can see that it's basically a 30-second bar. Okay, so that allows you to look at some of the details here in the order flow on different time frames. Okay, pretty nice. I like it. I'm also looking at the background type in here. There are all sorts of different ways to look at it, you can look at the delta chart here. You can look at a histogram. You can look at this is the histogram delta chart that we were showing earlier. We can look at just buying and selling histogram here. We can look at a solid color. We can also look at a delta solid colors here. Okay, so I like this one. I like these little mini profiles in here, and it also shows here the footprint type, horizontal delta. Okay, so buy minus sell on the horizontal here. Okay, so now you can put it on the diagonal. A lot of guys they want to look at the diagonal here. Well, you can do that too, but you're going to get 2 different numbers in here now. All right, so I like the clarity of just the horizontal delta. All right, I'm good with that. All right, and I really like looking at the delta here in the aggregate in the subchart. All right, so let's look for more opportunities. We can use our footprint and kind of get a bigger picture in here. So some nice selling actually down here. Okay, we can see a skew here. Let's see if we can get more selling in again. Okay, so maybe another buying trap in here. can also see that this is matching in here with our profile, and we're kind of stuck in a big profile here at the moment. Okay. This big bump here on both the chart range volume profile and session range volume profile. Okay, so look at that buying in here at the top of the range. Okay, so now we'd look for some selling in here to try to trap that buying and then move it away back down to bottom of the range, maybe around 44 or so. Okay, let's look for it. Okay, so it's this buying we're looking for a trap in here, and I don't see it trapped yet, and it's just too much of a, that's kind of a 50-50 roll of the dice in here, so I don't really see an opportunity here. Now if this buying was up in here and then we see the selling move away from it, that would be an opportunity. Okay, so you can see the sellers did come in here, but that's it. Okay, you can hear the market pulse pace of tape. A lot of selling coming in. A lot of selling. All right, now this is really interesting. It's actually buying and selling. You can see it peaking on both here. Okay, so let's take a look at this because we got both hitting. So it's really back and forth in here. Okay, but we can see mostly selling down in here. Okay, so now, if that is the case, well, then we're just going to take a quick scalp in here on market pulse. Okay, now, again, this is just a trade idea. Okay, this is not a good idea, most likely, but we're going to put a buy stop in here, and we're going to see if this can be trapped volume or, you know, maybe a stop run here, and then we're going to very quickly move our take profit just down a few ticks here. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so we're not looking for much, and if we do actually, well, we might even hit the flatten button, and maybe we can put it up here. We might get a very quick move on the buy side, and if we do, then we will likely get filled up here, you know, 47.5 or so. Okay, understood? What we're doing is it's not a very good trade idea, to be honest, but I just want to show this idea of using this market pulse tool. Okay, by the output down here. That a lot of heavy selling, also heavy buying in here, but now we're looking for, since we can back test this very quickly and look at these areas in here, when we see heavy selling, we get a reversal. Okay, when we see heavy buying, we get a reversal. Okay, it's kind of like it is only so much, and then it ends. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we can really test it now. Okay, so we should get a move back up now. Okay, according to our very quick back testing in here. I don't like this idea, but we're just kind of going through this back testing in here with a live position here. Okay, so the reason I don't like it is because there's heavy selling here and here. You know, buyers really got to pick it up here to drive away from these guys and trap them. And we might get it. We might get it. Okay, we're back to our break even here on this trade. Okay, so I'm still going to hang out here and see if we can get maybe a little bit more up here on the buy side. Okay, so we're looking for our trap volume in here. That's the idea. Okay, so more buyers, that's good. Now we don't want to be the buyers trapped up here either. Okay, so we have to be careful there. So buying picking up. Okay, so maybe we'll get a quick move here and a stop run up into our target. Okay, I'm going to move to the swing here, and I'm looking for stops to be triggered up into there. Yeah, I don't like it. We're seeing more sellers in here. I'm going to bail on this, guys. I'm just going to give up on it. It was an idea. It was kind of a bad idea, we knew, but let's just take the loss. Okay. Yeah, that was a good idea, right? And this is why we already covered it. Here, sellers. Here, sellers. We're looking for a trap, and then buyers, and we're looking also down here at our market pulse. Maybe we have a better opportunity actually here right now, and a move back up to 45 or the other side of the range. Okay, because we have another capitulation in here of selling. Anyway, yeah, probably shouldn't do stuff like that. It's only for demo. It's only to show this, but go through this idea. But it hurts us. It hurts our trading journal in here, as you can see. Now, well, here you can see like it's already updated here. Now we're down to $100. Okay, whereas we just gave away like 5 ticks, and we missed this opportunity too. Nice selling. All right, sellers moving it away. Okay, let's see if those sellers can make it down to here. 38. A lot of selling here. Now you see again, like yeah, we know there's sellers in here, but it's now we saw them in these little areas in here as well. We're just looking for the squeeze, potential squeeze or trap. Okay, but I'm not looking for in here. I know there's momentum to the downside, but when I see that market pulse tool here hitting these extreme levels in here, I will wait for a pullback and then get in. Okay, I don't want to get in on that move. Okay, because likely we're going to get a pullback, well, at least with stock indexes, that's for sure. Okay. Now we can look and for an opportunity up in here. Okay, so it's a pullback. Is it a low volume pullback? It's not bad. And we've got some technical levels in here, a swing and also a trend line here, or trend channel. Okay, we're back to the high volume node. Okay, now we're looking for sellers. And what is the order flow telling us? Here we on the offer up here, on the bid down here. Okay, they're pulling on the bid. We're seeing some selling. Yeah, I'm going to hold off. Maybe one more pullback here, one more shot by the buyers. Want to look for rejection up here. Okay, at the high volume node. Rob, good question, Rob, about how does all this upcoming data impact the way you trade, if at all. The outlook for the day is, well, I haven't really kind of, first off, I haven't really done the bigger picture. Got a couple questions, guys. I'll get to them. I haven't looked at kind of the bigger picture of like what I think the data might look like on Friday or tomorrow, etc. So I'm basically and that would have an effect on me in kind of the bigger picture. And so because the market's forward looking, right? So if it's forward looking, what are traders are kind of already positioning themselves of what the data might be, and what do they think about it? And on days like today, then we can look at our bigger time frame and then the technical levels in here. And it's basically technical trading is the way I look at it, Rob. So I'm not looking for much right now. So, you know, it depends on the environment. Like, for example, there's times when, you know, the market is really anticipating, you know, really good number off of, I don't know, whatever it might be, let's say non-farm. So if it is, well, it's probably you're gonna probably see it priced in early in the week, or maybe even like earlier than that. So, you know, people are thinking that this is the way I fit it into the, you know, my trading plan, right? So here we can go over our document again, okay, and our preparation. So fundamentals, bigger picture, it's in this area here that I would put that together. Okay, what are they expecting? What were the numbers for the last, like, you know, few non-farms? What were the reactions from those areas? Okay, so where am I, you know, what do traders think about it based off of what they know? What are the expectations in those forecasted numbers? Okay, so and then I'm just looking at technical levels at that point, right? And am I looking for a trending environment? Probably not, but we might be. Depending on you know, if traders think, oh God, the number can't be that good, or, you know, even if the number is good, you know, we're going to have you know, Powell keep interest rates higher or for longer, or, you know, whatever it might be. So that's how I kind of look at it, Rob. I hope that helps. Okay, and then it really is order flow when it comes down to it. I might have that idea, but based on the day, as we did in our higher time frame technical levels in here, are we really anticipating a big outside day here? Probably not, right? So is it accept or reject? Right now it's rejecting, right? And we're back inside previous day. Okay, so now, and we tested up here. Now let's take a look at this in here. So here's that this big wick here. Here's our trade back up. Remember how we were looking for that? And then now we're finding sellers. Okay, so sellers actually have a ways to go here. Now we've traded down here once, and now we're back again. We've traded all the way back up, and we traded back down on this 15-minute candle, and we've broken it here. Okay, so now we can start to look for maybe a pullback, low volume pullback, if there's high volume in here, first off, on the sell side. Okay, and then what we can look for is a move down into some of these levels down here. Okay, so we were talking 40, but 38, 37, 36, maybe a gap fill, maybe 30. Okay. All right, so then if that is the bigger picture, let's look at Bookmap now, and how can this help us? Okay, so we're going to look for traps. We're going to look for smaller technical levels in here, okay, based off of our trading plan, okay, or preparation plan. Okay, outlook for the day, developing scenarios. Okay, we already looked at the bigger picture technicals. Now outlining scenarios. We just outlined one. Okay, we're looking for maybe the move down to this kind of 36 level, 35 or whatever it was. All right, so now if that is the case, what are we looking for in here? Okay, well, strong offer looks pretty good. Okay, what about the bid? Not so good, not as strong. What about the volume in this price structure here? Okay, so here is a bigger picture idea then. Okay, so we're going to wait until we see there's more selling, okay, but we can start to place our orders in here. Okay, again, like I'm using a sell stop in here. Now I'm in front of all this buying in here. Okay, I'm just below it here. Okay, I'm looking for this to be a trap. Okay, now I'm really looking for sellers to come in here. Okay, and can they trade back down into these lower levels here? Okay, well, let's take a look up here. See what we find. Okay, well, buyers continue. See the skew in the order book here, and we got buyers. Okay, so let's cancel that order for now, and let's wait and watch. Yeah, I mean, I'm gauging expectations kind of fundamentally, but also order flow. Okay, on higher time frame and lower time frame. Okay, there's some exhaustion. We have a nice cluster of buying up in here. This is where we're going to see it would have to move away down here. So this is where I'm going to set my my stop. Okay. Now it depends. Like maybe this is enough for you. There's a potential squeeze though to get involved in. You might get squeezed if you get in at top of the range. Let's just do it. I mean, we'll probably give away profit here. Well, we just missed it. Yeah, we can look for, you know, exhaustion up here or something like that with a limit. Okay, we're straddling the market here. Now, this is not really the way I like to trade, to be honest, because I get caught up in squeezes. I'm looking for these guys to tell me something. This is more speculation here, that I'm looking for exhaustion. I don't see much on the offer, but I am getting in at a good price. Okay, so now question is, do I want to add to it here at the bottom of the range? All right, well, it's too late. I'm in. All right, so now I want to get out some of this down here, okay, just to reduce some of the risk. Yeah, this is not a good setup in my mind. We're really just more covering trade management than anything else. I do not feel comfortable with this because of this buying in here. And like I said, I now even added to it because of my limit up here. Okay, so this has got to reverse here. And I don't like seeing this buying here. Okay, but we're at our high volume node. Okay, and now we're looking for a long squeeze. Okay, sellers coming in. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, really need to see these sellers pick up right here, right now, and hit the bottom of the range. See if they can. Should be able to. Should be able to, because they traded up here twice and it rejected. They only came down to the bottom of this range, not this one. See what I mean? So yeah, that's another area to reduce some risk. But anyway, let's see if we can get it. You know, still, again, uncomfortable in this trade. Look at the sellers down here. Look at the buyers coming back up in here. Now they have failed to get through this high volume node. So far. And we don't have much in the order book here either, guys. This is really 50-50. Okay, so we'll just get lucky on this or unlucky. Okay, and that's not a good you know, we don't want to do that. I just wanted to cover that trade management in here. Rob, I mean, trading sideways is you know, it can be really great. You know, and it's that's why I wanted to demo this, because up here we don't know, but you know, we're looking for it, and that was a good entry. And this one here, we're looking for a direction to unfold, and we're looking for sellers here to take it, right? But up here, we're just trading the ranges, and then we're looking for a follow through. Okay, this is not good. I just may have to just exit here. They're pulling on the offer. Yeah, likelihood of getting stopped out is pretty high. You can look at this little profile in here. Okay, so everything's, it's not pointing toward us, but the one thing that, and this is where it's just not good. Like, we're kind of hoping, right? And we should just exit. But we're looking for a squeeze, basically. So let's see. We still might get it, but like we don't want to look for that. We wanted the squeeze to be under, in the movement, right? That's the problem with the range bound trading. You can get caught up in it here, and then it can work against you, right? So that's no good, and we don't know. See, when we're looking for the order flow and the transactions in here, and all of this here in our criteria, Rob, to give us insight to the move away from it. Okay. But the reason that we did this was to show how to kind of average cost it in here within a range. You can read the NQ, no problem. Rob, here, we might just give up on this and then jump over to the NQ and take a quick look. Yeah, let's do that. This is not looking good. I do not like it. All right, so we lost all our profit and loss on that example, but and we're only up a tick for the day. But that's fine. It was just to go through the example. Oh yeah, I love it, Rob. I mean, look at this here. Like, look at this bigger picture in here. Now we're going to get our move, right? Now we're going to get our sellers. Yeah, and I'm looking for the sellers to continue here. So actually, let's try it again. There we go. See how much easier that is than, like, playing the range in here and not knowing. We're looking for something specific. Okay, now we're looking for the markdown phase. Okay, the move away from, and we have enough volume here. We're just looking for more sellers now to try to move it. Let me exit this again. We'll just go over to the NASDAQ and take that, right? So hold on, and we'll look for it here. All right, so nice selling. Okay, here, look at the order flow up into, we also have VWAP up here. We're getting a bit of a pullback now. It tested the other side of this range. All right, and let's put up a market pulse actually here. And let's see if what's going to be we're looking for sellers to come in here. Oops, we're going to miss this. Damn it. Well, I still think we're going to get more sellers in here, but let's see if we can try it once again in here. There we go. All right. So now let's look for those sellers. And let's also look at our market pulse in here. to take us down, and paste a tape or volume pressure imbalance on the E or the NQ. Let's do that. Yeah, here we go. All right. This was the move we were looking for earlier in the S&P, and then just kind of bailed on it. Bailed on it twice, actually. Yeah, it would have been nice. But again, would have been nice. No, we're looking for it to work. Okay, so it either works or it doesn't. Let's see here. Came down to the bottom of the range in here. It would have been nice to have been in 2 positions and then get out some. Okay. I do not have a stop in here or a take profit. All right, so I'm going to use an OCO in here, and we'll put that in. Okay, so to do that OCO, I'm going to be placing a buy and a sell. All right, so now to place the stop, I'm long or I'm short here, so I want to be a buyer. So I'm going to left click in here, but I don't want to left click above current price without holding shift down. So hold shift down. Okay, and now I got to set my other order. I'll go down below current price, and then I'm going to left click. Okay, and I'm going to left click down here at the swing low. Right, and there we go. All right, so now here's my stop, and here's my limit take profit. Okay, now this order doesn't, it's not connected to my stop here, or I mean, say my entry here. All this knows is if this is hit, it will cancel. It'll be long, which will at that point. I'm going to get stopped out on this too. At that point, it will fill this or even out this position here. I'll be flat, and it will cancel this one here. Okay. So this is another way if you want to just get in and then adjust your stops accordingly. The way that I've been doing it, as you guys can see here in the S&P, is I have my bracket orders with a take profit of 20, stop loss of 10, and then I will adjust them accordingly. Okay, it looks like we're the ones hunted here on this one. Don't like it, but we got to see the sellers come in here, and let's see if we can get that move back down. See how we got in here, we got the momentum, beautiful little retest in here, and then look at the buyers come in above and then back up above this little swing here, right? So and then buyers, this is where these guys here are the ones being hunted. Okay, we're going to see some stops in here, right? So we're being hunted. Okay, now we don't know. It's especially it's end of the European session here. These guys also it might swing, and these buyers in here could be the ones that are hunted. Therefore, we're looking for sellers down here, and then the move lower. Okay, so let's see if we get that. Rob, just because it's moving fast, I mean, just look at the bigger picture in here, and then you'll be able to trade it. Yeah, this is not looking good, guys, right in here, unless this fails up here and then sellers move it away really quickly here, which they might. Yeah, see, Rob, this answers your question about positioning yourself for the day in your bigger picture. So it's range bound, it's choppy. They're going back and forth in here, and we anticipate that. Okay. There's some nice exhaustion, but now we got to see some heavy selling here, and they got to move it away. It kind of retested back to the high volume node here, so we'll see. Come on, sellers, hit it. Okay, let's look at a measured move in here actually for these sellers. What are our expectations? Okay, maybe we'll get out at break even on this one. Yeah, somewhere down here. Rob, you know, trade management wise, look at some of these measured moves in here and ATR. Like this gives you some really good ideas in here. Like I'm going to flatten it down here. I'll take a small loss because, you know, I'm not looking for it to move much more, right? And I'll just take the loss and look for the next opportunity. Okay. But this is a great way to look at your trade management in here and look at these ranges in here. How much more pressure does the market have typically? Okay, and some of these moves in here. Right now, again, did I get shaken out? Did I, you know, did I miss that opportunity in here? I don't know. Not really. I mean, I'm not looking for much out of this. Okay, it went down below, it came back down, it retested this area. That's what we were kind of looking for, or movement away, but we don't know. All right, so anyway, those were my decisions, and you know, we'll take a small loss on some of these, and then that's that. Right, we're just trying to position ourselves for a potential move based on the criteria we're looking for. Okay, and yeah, I kind of screwed with my trade journal here by doing that, but I'm sorry, by playing around with some other orders in here, and which is you know, kind of a pity, but at least now we have a profit ratio that might be a little more realistic of you know, 40%, because we know we're going to have losses, right? But anyway, we knew going into some of those ideas they were not very good. All right, guys, I got to end the webinar. Thanks everybody for coming. If you guys, if you like this is what we go through in these webinars Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, and answer your questions. Let me see if there's any questions I need to get to at YouTube there. Guys, hit the like button and please subscribe. This really helps us. I like reading the order flow of both Daniel, NQ, and the ES. I certainly like to see them both in line, as well as typically the NASDAQ leading the S&P to give insight with that correlation is another confluence that helps give an edge. If you Lasse, this is a good question. You overinterpret what's happening at that zone. Just you know, take a deep breath, and because you might say like, oh look, there's sellers. Like, oh no, there's buyers. I understand, but this is where you have to look back at the bigger picture here, not just right here. Okay, this will be really helpful. This is what I really encourage you to go to our Bookmap Learning Center. Okay, just go to bookmap.com, education, and go to the strategies and setups in here. These setups will go through your checklist, your criteria checklist. Okay, we only take trades based on criteria. Now I didn't so much in this webinar, but we did earlier, and with that footprint chart, and that worked out nicely. The other ones were just kind of shots in the dark. But you'll see there's execution here, and see this checklist here, right? From the flag pattern or continuation pattern. You can also see here, we will put together a checklist here for the inverse head and shoulders pattern, reversal pattern in here. This is how it will help you and not get all caught up into the is it going long, or is it going short, etc. No, you will be reading this criteria to help you, and then you're looking for a certain catalyst in here to give you insight. And there's actually a pretty good one here. So we have sellers here, and then here's our exhaustion up in here. See how like sellers took it down, and you see you don't have buyers here. You have very little buying here, and you see sellers here. That's when we're looking for it to move. Now, that little element in here, okay, is one read of only this in here. But when we put this criteria together of sellers moving it away here in this bigger picture, buyers can't reach back up, high liquidity on the offer up in here, which does not transact, buyers cannot reach it, they try again here, and yet we see more sellers here and here. And then in here, this is where we got caught up in it. We didn't know. Buyers could have taken it back up to here. They didn't. Sellers took it back down. Here's our exhaustion. Here's our exhaustion. Here's our sellers. Now it's looking pretty good. All right. But based off of all of that criteria, now you're looking for a higher probability move. Okay. And it worked out pretty nicely here. This is the kind of stuff we look for in these webinars as well. Okay. I'm just demoing a lot of other things and, a lot of other products along the way. All right. So anyway, that will help you tremendously. So go to the Learning Center, go through some of these, come to these webinars, ask questions. I would highly recommend that you go into the Bookmap. Here, I'll show you where you can sign up for the Bookmap Academy. It's free. Okay, you just need Bookmap. Go to bookmap.com, the More button, Bookmap Academy, and then join in here. You can read through it, what's expected of you. It's not much at all, and partake in the coaching that you'll get and the mentoring that you'll get in here. All right, we're going to pound on the table about trade criteria, and that will help clarify things for you. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. If you want to hit that subscription button or hit that like button, that will be very helpful for us. I've got to go. I've got another meeting I've got to attend. I'm already late too. So thank you, everybody, and we will catch you next time. Okay, tomorrow, same time. All right. Yeah, thanks for coming. Bye-bye.